Brandon.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome back to Apollo City Comics on our road to 100 and our third year anniversary. Pretty hyped about that. Well, on this road, not every road is smooth. Roads are bumpy. Roads get chaotic. You have to go over mountains and rocks and boulders. And we've all seen Lord of the Rings. Like, we know what a journey's like. And right now we're trying to cast that ring. But right now we're going through some crap. Like, I'm so sorry. Maximum Carnage. If you heard our part 1 episode, and we warned everybody at the beginning. We love comic books, and we always recognize some flaws that we don't personally agree with. But at the end of it, I don't feel like there's been something we've covered that we haven't like wound up loving more than anything else overall. Like utter respect for the craft. But Maximum Carnage just isn't that series right now, and it just it looks cool. But why is Deathlock involved? And you know what? This is the point too that it starts crossing over with Infinity Crusade. So there's like two giant events going on at once, and people are kind of going in and out of it while still in this event. Like that whole structure from here on out baffles me. And why is Deathlock in it? Like, this...
Not just that, like it's one of those things. Like it feels like Marvel's never really changed. This is also right before the comic book industry crash.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, no fucking
it's like you see the hints of it, right?
Yeah.
When was the crash? Was it like 97?
I thought it was like 95, so maybe around that, the late 90s.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It was, mid late 90s. And you kind of see that Marvel's never changed, just event after event, cram every character just because. And the only reason you can have, like, I don't know, Mobius in this is because Sony doesn't have the rights to it yet or something. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Spider-Man, Sony has the rights to Spider-Man and all Spider-Man characters, right?
Yeah, has to at this point because nobody else is in the MCU. They would have tossed something in there. And with this new movie coming out, it sounds like there's a whole cast. So yeah, I figured it's all Spider-Man characters, like Spider-Man as a whole.
Yeah. Do you think that Let There Be Carnage is gonna definitely take a bunch of stuff from this?
See, this is okay. So this is a big reason why we're hyping it up. Before when we plan things, Let There Be Carnage was gonna come out in a few weeks, or next week I think after this comes out. But now it's been pushed back like even further. But this is like the recommended reading for Let There Be Carnage, and I'm like, why? Like the only thing I would recommend from Maximum Carnage so far is the first scene in the very first issue, and that's it. Like that's as far as I can go. Like after that, like I hope the whole movie is radically different. I could see the ending coming out that way, but like what? Like how? Like they're not going to introduce. There's way too many characters in this book. There's no reason for 80% of the characters. It should just be Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage, honestly. And maybe somebody dipping in and out real fast. But this is also like when Death of Superman was going on, I believe. And that's a giant crossover insanity. I want to say so. Check out those dates.
I never read Death of Superman, to be honest with you.
That was like my first Superman graphic novel ever. That was my first Superman story, I want to say.
Let's see.
It's a weird one to pick up on, but
yeah, I know, right when he dies.
But it was cool.
I like how I type it in. Of course, I get the
movie.
The movie.
I know, that's a bummer about that stuff. I'm glad they didn't call it like Maximum Carnage though. Like
for the movie. Wow, it is 93. Holy shit! Yeah. So this is like right before it. Yeah. So this is the beginning of the crash because Death of Superman is one of the reasons why the crash happened.
Yeah. There you go. And it just sounds like there's too much going on in the MCU. Sorry, in the Marvel universe at this point. Too many characters, just in too many things, and I think that's why they've really gotten good at singling out, just not making everything such a team book. Just because X-Men is a success, ride that out. And you already probably had like 4 spin-offs. I'm sure X-Force was going on and whatnot during this time too. But I mean, jumping into this, issue 7, which is Back to the Amazing Spider-Man. So I think we're at our solid 5 books overall.
I think some of them were different prices too.
Maybe. I didn't pay attention to the pricing on each one.
Does it give you a price?
Yeah, on a few of
it
mine.
does.
Yeah. Um, so far there. Oh, that's Amazing Spider-Man. I opened up again. Let me check this out. I'm curious about that because they all feel about the same size as well. So I don't know if they're in length and whatnot. Oh, 175. Spider-Man,
okay,
the main title is 175.
They are. No, Amazing is the main title.
Oh, that was just the Spider-Man, but yeah, Amazing is technically the main title.
Yeah.
But Spectacular is 125. But Amazing is 125 too. Only Spider-Man is which is weird. I don't really know when it's just been Spider-Man. Web of Spider-Man is 125 as well. And of course, we know that Spider-Man Ultimate 1 and 2 are like
$3.95 or some shit like that.
or so. Man, this is just the same exact thing we've been going over, guys. I'm so sorry. These guys are meeting up. So they're going back to Carnage because he's like kind of tracing his steps at this point, right? Where he's going back to like where he was first made and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Is that what was going on right here?
Yeah, they're like, let's go to like where he grew up to see if that gives us anything. You know what's pretty cool when you're looking at this page that you don't see as a detail in Venom in the modern day?
What?
I think like the first page where they're all standing there. If you look at Venom, he has the web shooters in his knuckles or the top of his hand.
Oh yeah, they cut that out.
They don't have that anymore.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, and do they ever clarify if it's still webbing? Like webbing?
I don't know. I mean, I know his saliva is him like
digest. That's how he poops.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't. That's a good question. I think it is. Maybe it never was webbing.
I don't know. I gotta double check. Maybe the Donny Cates run slowly hints at it.
Yeah.
Or subtly.
Yeah, he does address a lot. So maybe that's just like a fact that's already been addressed or something. It's a good question. But this one, where so they're at where he grew up because he was like an orphan and whatnot, the school of boys and whatnot. Cletus Cassidy,
Carnage rules.
The classic Carnage rules. Good stuff. And literally, they're just like nothing's really going on in this entire story. Again, Carnage and his gang are attacking some stuff. You get to see Carry-On's powers a bit more now for the first time. Makes you old. Yeah. Mary Jane still pissed. What I need is for Peter to come home. He swore he'd give up being Spider-Man for a while, but instead, he's out fighting a wave of bizarre violence that's sweeping the city, which leaves me, the hero's wife, on my own. Dude, that's straight from the book. That is horrible. Me, the hero's wife.
It's painful. I was like almost genuinely pissed at you for making me read this.
I said we should have just done it in one episode. Dude, and then Deathlock comes out of nowhere. So
yeah, he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm a supercomputer."
Yes. What is the point?
Spoiler: I was hacking the Avengers tower mainframe and trying to communicate with you guys with Iron Fist. Oh yeah, Iron Fist is in this too. Sorry.
Yeah, he hasn't even come out yet, which is again why you're just stuffing a character in every single issue just to get more exposure of this characters. I don't know. It baffles me, but some of the art's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then so this writing, like it's like you think it would let up, but it just keeps going. So let me see. You know how they're like traveling the city and they're trying to stop everybody from like attacking each other?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, if you go to the part where like they get the guy's handgun and Black Cat kind of like hits his hand with something.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The thing that gets me is like, what does she say? She's like, "You're getting soft-hearted too. How many people do you think Carnage butchered?" And then Venom's like, "Ooh, aren't you a sassy pussycat?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is painful."
Goodness. Yeah, Venom's speech has never been good though. Like when, his first appearance, Eddie Brock did not talk right ever. He was just not a cool guy.
He was just a big dummy.
Yeah, you never wanted to be Eddie Brock. And even in the Spider-Man video game that we're talking about, the PS1, PC one, based on the animated series, like Eddie Brock was a loser in that one too. Venom was kind of really goofy until the last. I mean, he's what character's what like 30 years old. So I'd say the last like 5 to 10 years, just about.
God, yeah. Well, Donny Cates.
Yeah,
Donny Cates, Spider-Man. Donny Cates, Venom. It's
gave him a good.
there's a reason.
Voice.
Yeah, there's a reason why that's such a love series because it like revolutionized the character.
And
But
so okay, Deathlock comes in. Deathlock gets his ass kicked right away. Uh, so like within like his 10 pages that Deathlock was introduced, he's already been captured. He's already he already got like attacked by Shriek, and
he got attacked by the doppelganger's crotch, basically.
yeah.
If you look at that one panel where he like wraps his legs around him.
Oh my gosh, Carnage looks dope as always. You can't really mess that up. Like, oh, and they're getting the Sonic gun from
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of which, did you read Spider Shadow #5 yet?
Spider? No, I didn't. Why?
Dude, it was a good final issue. Chip Zdarsky stuff. The What If comic right now.
I gotta get Life Story still.
You don't have Life Story?
I was gonna read it by the issue, but so part of me was like, I'll just get the trade because let me see if it's expensive.
No, it's not expensive.
Oh, it's like
18 bucks.
$30 for a hardcover. I'm kind of down with that.
Yeah, that's nice. It's worth it. Hell yeah, it's worth it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Well, part of me was like, this feels like something I want in a hardcover.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I actually had the Decade issues, so I kind of just stuck with those. But sorry to stray off because there's nothing's happening in this. Oh, that's the end of the issue.
Firestar. That's the other character.
Oh my god, and Firestar. After he was just like, good luck, I think it's gonna be pretty hard to get her, and she's like, what's up, everybody? And she was like, oh wow, you actually came. It's like Peter had some awkward stuff going on with her, and he's like, oh, I didn't think you'd show up. Cool. So let's go, I guess. And he's all weird about it.
I know, right?
But dude, that's the whole issue. Like nothing happened. Literally, we were introduced to three characters that did not need to be there. Deathlock, Firestar has some significance, I guess.
Well, because they need fire to fight the symbiotes, but she, like, Human Torch wasn't available. But then you find out she's like not cut out for it, kind of thing, and you're like, okay, what was the fucking point?
Part 8, I really love the cover for it because I love seeing the symbiote like getting shot off of him.
No more Mr. Nice Venom.
Except for that just killed it.
Right. Dude, can you imagine being like a teenager in '93? Like, oh boy, can't wait to go freaking,
No wonder kids were made fun of for liking comics back then. Like,
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
But this is really what people like are being exposed to for the most part. You know what I mean? For this being a recommended reading, people are gonna be like, Maximum Carnage. This is like my first Spidey Carnage like comic book, and then they're gonna read it and be like, this is look at in this on the double page spread. Black Cat isn't even colored. She's white. Is she white in yours too? Like completely white?
Are you talking about the J. Jonah Jameson thing?
Whip.
Hold on. Show me on your camera.
Let me show you this.
Yeah, she looks like that.
She's white, like completely white.
Let me see again.
I already positioned it, but I mean, she's like her skin is pale. Like,
no, she's pale in this too.
Why is she pale? Like, what's up with this coloring? Like,
I don't know. I told you the colors.
Yeah,
the coloring feels washed out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially in this issue. This is like the most prominent one. Like, JJ looks horrible. These panel layouts, they really do get confusing at some points too. Like the way the bubbles flow. Did you ever like have a hard time being like which direction?
It was more of like they get cluttered. They just
Well, also they
like
when you do tall panels and then you have dialogue at the very top and at the bottom, and then you switch to the very top, that always kind of throws me off. I feel like
well, the other thing they do is that's weird is like, okay, so take let me see. So take this page where right after that spread where they're talking about where Spider-Man's like, but won't you like what we have to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. first of all, the top half of the page is these horizontal panels. You got one that's like really big and one that's like small, but you have the big panel trying to utilize the space with words, and you're still trying to like fill in space with the smaller one. And then you kind of make them vertical, which is fine, but then you do this weird like thing with negative space where Black Hat is kind of sitting in like this
weird void
behind the panel.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in comics, yeah, you're supposed to have the word balloons fill a certain space, but these panels feel like they're literally trying to fill the entire space that a character is not residing in.
And also, and look at the next page over, the panel with JJ talking, and then you have Venom and Cloak like that. You
chilling there.
Why isn't that just like a one shot of them in that room? Like, why are you cutting that into two panels? Or if it's like that, there's room for Venom, I guess, to say something. But you go from JJ talking to again JJ talking, and now he's addressing Spidey and Black Cat. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. Like, literally, the panels do not add up into. Like, why is that second panel there? You know what I mean? Why?
And then you got Firestar thinking to herself.
Yeah, like that's just stuffed in, like as if you just have to put her somewhere, and then you change locations at the bottom of the page. Like, it doesn't really. I don't know. I guess the bottom part is like more of a cliffhanger because you. I don't know actually. What is the point of this whole part?
Flash Thompson comes in and saves the day.
Yeah. But see, none of that. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's just the way everything flows. You kind of like hiccup and you skip.
Everything's abrupt.
Yeah.
This page especially. Okay, so like, wrong place to play, kids. It's like, all right, sure. Flash is that is Flash, right?
Yeah, it's Flash.
Yeah, he just walks around in a tank top because it's the 90s, and like, again with the panels, like you have the top one, and then you have these two that are like sitting on top of the panel in the middle, but then that panel is like under the ones on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how do I explain this? Like, you have this panel that's kind of like the backdrop, and then you're trying to have these other panels that are like the foreground, right? Or not the foreground, but like in front. So they kind of have more significance on the page in a way. And it's like the other big one that's behind them is kind of in the background.
I can see how this would work out if there was less dialogue on the page. But you're having to read so much that look how many punches are being thrown here. This, the very top panel, you have him flying across to punch him. And then you have two punches going on. You have at least two more on the third panel. The fourth one, dude, there's three, thoom, crash, whack. Like, that's three movements going on right there. And then we're paused. And that's where you could fill in some dialogue because it's paused now. Like, they're not moving. But they're moving so much. And they're also saying kind of way too much in those movements.
Yeah, when you fight, do you go, Thompson and the Parkers are friends of family punks?
Yes. Like, look how long it took you to say that. Thompson and the Parkers are friends and family punks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was gonna say that mid-punch.
There's still three of us left against the one lousy tough guy.
It's so ridiculous. It's too much, and it drives me crazy. Honestly, when you turn the page,
it gets exhausting.
Yeah, that's the thing. It wears you out, like, and you're not enjoying like the quick action. Everything feels so slow. One thing they did do right though. When we get to this whole Carnage scene next, I like the use of like the yellows for the flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean the red and the yellows are like a weird contrast to have, but they do pop.
Yeah, it seems eerie. You know what I mean? It feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I can get that. But you know what? Or is this just bad coloring? Never mind. You turn the page, dude. All the yellows are now everywhere. Like, dude, Cloak has like yellow in them. Firestar, the background, the smoke has yellow. Dude, Black Cat is still pale. She's the same color as her gloves. And then look at Deathlock. Nothing's even colored. It's just yellow and red. So okay, maybe that's not intentional. Maybe that's just like kind of quick, rushed coloring.
It also looks faded.
Super faded. Super faded.
Yeah, and then boom, Iron Fist.
Because look at all this detail in freaking Deathlock, and then you turn the page back. None of that's there. There's no silver or anything. It's just very implied. But yeah, fucking Iron Fist. What the hell is? And Iron Fist. Deathlock has done nothing. Deathlock arrived. He got captured, and he's been rescued.
Got his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked, and then he was captured, and now he's getting rescued. Like, he has done nothing in this story so far. He is just there.
Just like Iron Fist. He comes to save Deathlock. Oh, I could point this out to you. Oh my god, dude. I wanted to talk to you about this because I thought it was hilarious. So the page after where you have the building like falling down and Carnage is kind of like midair.
Uh-huh.
Check this out. Why is Carnage thick as hell? And second of all,
yeah, for reals. That's symbiote.
The symbiote. Damn, Cletus. Apparently, Carnage got that dump truck.
When it was making his outfit, he was just like, wait, just a little thicker down there. Because he's a skinny white boy. That dude's like straight up like pale. And he reminds me of like an uglier Michael McConaughey in True Detective.
Uglier Michael
and True Detective, how he's all skinny.
But they're giving Carnage some cheeks here. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, thickened up.
And then the scracoom. It looks like it's just a fart coming out his ass.
Oh my gosh, that placement is horrible.
Right? All I'm saying is Woody Harrelson better be thick as hell in this movie.
Damn, I lost video there for a second.
Oh no.
But I edited that out.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Wait, say it again so we can start. Like,
I said Woody Harrelson better be just as thick.
Dude, for reals, I'm actually pretty hyped for the stills we've seen. I think it'll be a dope looking Carnage. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's crazy is he's 60 years old.
Yeah. And like, it's gonna be. I think he'll be creepy about it. And he is.
Yeah. Well, he's an amazing actor.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so Carnage has like a massive fart with his thick cheeks.
And then it's just the typical battle stuff. And then we bring in the ray gun. The ray gun doesn't work. And it's kind of a shock. But then Firestorm, right? That's her name? Firestar. There you go. She shoots him down with the heat. Dude, Morbius has to come into play for a moment. Dude, Clarion is pale. Look at this. The coloring. There's no coloring. Like, it's literally like missing.
He literally looks like that. I mean, isn't he like Decay or something? I don't know.
Well, even like the rags on him are the same color, and it's like Black Cat again, not colored at all. I don't know. It's kind of sad. Domino looks pretty poor on the next page.
You know what gets me with this is one thing I know. Something was throwing me off with Venom in this, and I realized what it was. It was the teeth.
How so?
They are too. How should I say? Like, let me look at Venom real quick. The teeth, to me, with Venom, they need to be like more jagged and kind of like crooked. I feel like, and kind of like everywhere.
Really, I don't like them when they're like spread out,
I'm not saying they need to be spread out necessarily. Like, here, let me. I just found this random image online. Let me see. Oh, damn it! It's not. Well, you know what I mean. Like, the teeth kind of need to be a little like everywhere. These are like almost too perfect, and they look small for how they typically look.
I gotta find a picture of it myself, but there's a version of, I want to even say it's a Sam Keith Venom, that I just don't dig, because I'd rather have him like kind of straighter teeth. Okay, so let me see if I can find which issue this is. This is the Venom I do not like. Look up Spider-Man Special Edition, The Trial of Venom.
Images. Oh no, I'm not talking about that. That's no, I don't like that.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I'm thinking like what's a good example? This is a good example. Let me see if I can send you the URL. There we go. Here, let me send that to you.
Oof. Okay, this issue griped me too. Part 9. Let me check out this link. I'll post this up too so you guys know what the hell we're talking about. Da-da-da. Yeah, I could kind of get that. Like slightly off. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like perfect teeth venom.
Okay,
That's just me.
I see what you mean there. I was thinking of a much more extreme. I want to say it was even Eric Larson that maybe did that wrong. I could be totally wrong too. If he even did Venom, but I think that's the one I'm thinking.
No,
about.
I thought he did because he drew Spider-Man.
Right?
Pretty sure he did Venom as well.
I think that's the one I didn't.
Yeah, he did. That's the one where he looks weird.
Okay, then that's the one I'm thinking of too. That was just
no, I'm not a fan of it either. Sorry, Eric Larson, if you ever hear this.
Yeah, but hey, teach their own, But part 9, Spectacular Spider-Man. All right, so this one is pretty pisses me off because I have a really big pet peeve about one thing in a comic book, and I don't know how you feel about it. But all right, flipping through the first few pages because nothing's happening. It's gonna be another battle. It doesn't really go anywhere. But a few pages in, when you have to turn a book sideways, like not even in like a fun Vertigo comic, Sandman kind of like trippy artwork type of way, but the fact that I have to turn the book fucking sideways to read this page pisses me off. Like it genuinely, if there's one thing I hate in a comic book, is having to do this, like rotating my book just to read a page that could have either been a 2-page splash or like just condensed and whatnot. And it's crazy because this page probably has the least amount of words out of any page in like the series so far. But I don't know how you feel about it, but that's like a personal just pet peeve of mine.
I don't mind it as long as it's not too intrusive on the experience, if that makes sense.
I feel like it just always is. I haven't found a proper way. Certain independent stuff I can expect it because that's just the tone of the book, but like there's a Batman Superman series, I want to say, and like a whole issue's read that way. Just
there was a I want to say Shade the Changing Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Changing Girl? I forget which one. Where you choose your own adventure thing, where you spin a pencil and you have to rotate the book.
Oh, it's
to like
see that's like
read.
understandable, and I could get that. But like just like a random page.
Yeah, like let's try this, guys.
Yeah, why are you fucking with this? Like, why? Like, what's the purpose behind it?
I was gonna say the thing that bugged me with this issue was the way they drew Black Cat's face. Look at the part where they start fighting and like it zooms in like one panel of her face.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, this one wasn't my favorite one either. And again, just Mary Jane is just whining this entire issue. We're 9 issues in, and she's still crying about this crap. But
still smoking cigarettes.
You find out that Chloe created Shriek, supposedly. That's like the darkness she looked into and how she turned and whatnot. Okay, so
bit his hand to get out. So if you want to know his weakness, you just bite his hand.
Yes. This is the issue that he was telling Firestar to kill Carnage, and he was just like, he's like, no, we gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta kill him. And then like it's Peter like 5 seconds later. He's like, Firestar, I was wrong. You've got to stop. In the name of God, stop. And like, dude, I hate how Venom looks in the very bottom panel.
Oh, stop.
Stop. Yeah, he's just like, they literally treat him and the doppelganger Spider-Man like dogs. So
basically,
also all of these are just like close-ups. There's like almost no landscape except for 2 bushes and a tree. And then the majority of the panels are just face close-ups, except for these like little battle ones right here. But like these 2 down here are just Carnage and Venom's face just taking up a whole panel. Like why?
Yeah.
Why is that? What's that
Get it?
doing?
Because they're looking opposite directions.
Um, I do like this page. How it shows a symbiote running off of him with a Shriek's ray gun.
It's like almost like melting.
Yeah, that I could get. That's cool. It's a nice progression. It's always fun stuff. But dude, look at this. A 12-panel page. Interesting.
I know. Like, you know what's funny is the 9-panel grid was made like popular by Steve Ditko,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like a dense panel page has always been a thing for Spider-Man ever since then.
Oh, I could understand that. Maybe I could read more classic Spidey. Maybe that's like a lesson to myself right there.
Yeah, there you go.
And then guess what? We're introduced to Captain fucking America. So another character added to
his
this
tiny
roster.
6-pack.
Yeah, dude, check this out. It's the smallest like.
The superhero 6-pack ever.
All right, we're gonna blast through this one. All right, so literally this entire issue 10, Web of Spider-Man, is like, again,
SA City, where it's
City.
just literally words everywhere.
But then you go into Deathlock and find out that him and Iron Fist are like hacking into Avengers, computer systems to like communicate with them, and you're like, what? Also, I think this is the one that ties into. It has the note that ties into like Infinity Crusade.
Infinity War? No, I thought it was Infinity War.
Infinity War? Okay. I'm not too sure where.
I'll find it. Give me a second. Let me see.
But then the artwork.
Oh, there goes Nightcrawler or whatever. Not Nightcrawler. What was his name?
It's not Nighthawk.
He's Spawn. That's what he is.
He's Spawn. He's essentially Spawn. That's it to the T, dude. Like the face design. I don't know how that wasn't like. Well, I mean, Todd's proven he's thought of Spawn since he was a kid, but like, it's just one of those things. It's a Gene Simmons face ripoff. That's all.
I do think it's cool the idea of Carnage like kidnapping Venom and torturing him.
Yeah, I thought things were gonna get cool around this time because of that, but that's as far as it gets.
10 issues in.
Yeah. Well, dude,
I like how they're.
Oh,
go ahead.
Mary Jane's still panicky about Peter.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I like how they stress so much about the cigarette thing.
Yeah, they put it every time she's just by the window, and with like, and then in next issues, she's like putting him out in an ash can and whatnot. Okay, and then Spidey goes and does like a side mission in the middle of all this after he ditched everyone because the whole killing aspect really just wore him out. And he was just like, I can't do this killing thing. Like, I messed up, guys. This isn't who I am. I need to stop all this. So he goes to see Mary Jane, and then he's like, no, I am Spider-Man. And he saves some people at like the police station that's been overrun and whatnot. While Spawn is now in the picture. Like, they don't even introduce this character. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody.
Yeah. Well, despite the potential dangers of my cursed costume.
So ridiculous. And then that's issue 10. Like, nothing happened. All that happened was that we were introduced to Spawn.
We're gonna piss someone off that's like loves this comic so much.
I know. I feel so bad too, but it's like, what can you? This could have been condensed in 6 issues. I swear.
I'm trying to find this guy's name.
So issue part 11. Gosh, dude. Okay, so again, we have Deathlock on the cover. We have Captain America on the cover. Iron Fist and Spidey with Venom and Carnage.
I will say, if it was nothing against the artist, but I think if it was like Ryan Otley, just putting that out there, if he did something like a cover like this.
Oh, dude.
No, not Ryan Otley. Stegman.
Ryan Stegman?
Yeah, Stegman.
Oh, dude, that would look beautiful. His Carnage and everything looks astonishing. He really was like. He made Venom look cooler than he's ever looked.
No, his Spider-Man in Absolute Carnage.
Yes.
That was
so good.
Nobody was talking about that.
He was on Spidey for such a long time. It's crazy how this is the series that like really shed some light on him. But Stegman's I forget how long he's been in the game before really just like taking off with this series.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, this is just another fight. Like every issue is just a fight that goes nowhere. And then you know what, Morbius, the sun's coming up, so Spawn dips out with Morbius to take care of him, and he's like, "Let's both stay alive." And this is the issue that's annoying, dude. I'm just gonna blast through this. This entire next like how many panels is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 panels. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 11 panels. 22 panels in the course of 2 pages is just way too much. Uh, dude, I hate how everyone's in like the havoc mode, like wreaking havoc everywhere,
Oh
and
my
then
god,
they
the thing that kills me with this issue is like, citizen, stop hurting people, and they're like, oh my god, you're right.
and that's like the bulk of that entire purpose. It does
The
nothing.
what's up with the guy with the nunchucks out of nowhere though?
Yes, like
And then the guy stealing oh dude, this gets me every time. 10 megs of RAM and 80 meg hard drive.
oh my gosh.
Why shouldn't I take it? I deserve. And then he says Lego,
They
get
go
your
get your
own.
own. Hey, you're deadlocked. I heard you actually
And
go
then
into computers. Wow.
and then the guy with the nunchucks, I've been picked on my whole life. And then Iron Fist shows up because of course, he's the martial arts guy. So
Yeah, of course. That's so ridiculous. I'm skipping over all that. Dude, the girl's gonna throw her kids over, and then she's like, "Spidey,
yeah, and why
my
does
kid
one of
loves
her
playing with
kids
them."
look like someone that's like they're like 15 but the size of a 2-year-old?
Oh my god, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. This entire thing, like, what has Deathlock done? Okay, Deathlock was again just he saved a kid, and that's about it. And he got webbed up again. Like, oh, this is where we find out that homegirl comes back.
Yeah, she's like,
Oh,
I was manifested.
part 11 is when Mary Jane finally gets it, dude. They saved us all. I was wrong. Win or lose, trying is what counts. It is worth it. What's that, Mary Jane? Oh, nothing, Aunt May. It's because she finally gets, oh, Spidey at least trying to help people is great. God, this whole issue was pointless. So pointless. Because you know what? The next issue is the same scene. It's all one giant scene. Um, this is now the news report of what we were just seeing with this horrible coloring. It's all grayed out, and
It's supposed to be the newscasters, okay?
yeah, it's supposed to be. Again, Peter's dad looking like a
Being an
dick.
asshole.
Yes, like I do like this full page splash of Carnage. I get it.
I'm telling you,
Tom,
man, a Carnage like torturing Venom.
oh, these next few pages are actually really good. Just symbiote like wiggliness everywhere. We love that. Um, oh, but then Carnage is kind of a wuss, you know what I mean? It was like, I was winning. And that's how you leave him.
Dude, I love how in this one page, Captain America's got the most ripped thighs ever, and then he just shoves
damn.
that guy aside.
Yeah, for real, huh? Deathlock move. He's just like literally this is still the same mob scene we were in last issue. Like this nothing has changed. They're surrounded by people and now they're just overcome and they gotta escape.
And then what's up with the why is Iron Fist religious? Go deep into the center, into the stillness of God.
No, I know. It's all bad. But and it takes Cloak this entire time. He's still building up to something, but what's he doing is the thing that was hinted towards in issue whatever 2 or 3. Um oh, Carnage, this whole Carnage scene kind of pointless. Again, just all of them watching the madness, nothing's happening. Oh, he beats his kid. So he's a misogynistic serial killer that also beats his kid.
He's a child beater.
Yeah, he's a child beater.
Well, he does say right there, I'm Carnage, that's who I am.
And then Dagger comes back, right? Yeah, Dagger.
Yeah.
I always feel like her name is something else because Dagger doesn't seem to fit her. Like
Another over-sexualized costume design.
oh my gosh, yeah, just like cleavage, purely cleavage. That's all that's showing. It's just the top of her boobs. But okay, so this finally issue 13 is when stuff starts to kind of happen. Dagger comes back and oh no, this is stupid. She tries to have everyone see the light, and there is this line in here. It's a few pages in. I'm just kind of flipping through it right now. But it's something about like, oh, it's at the very end of the issue. We'll point it out, but like they don't succeed, and she's like, I didn't succeed. The light didn't pull through or something, and it's just so ridiculous. Her whole power. And Deathlock just firing off this giant body ray.
Where is that? Let me see if I can find it.
His entire purpose in this series is a mystery to me.
You mean he's useless?
Completely.
And then you have that moment in the issue where Spider-Man's just standing in the middle of the street because apparently everybody cleared New York immediately.
Yeah. Look at the buildings don't even have texture to them.
Oh man, painful.
But they use that giant ray thing. You'll see it right now. Over on.
Oh, there you go. That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, giant super chest ray. Over on Carnage, and that fuckathum, that full page splash for no reason.
And look at the way Carnage looks like with the symbiote like coming off of him. It looks so badly done.
It looks like it's like the first layout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the sketch.
Mm-hmm. And then I think it's kind of funny how he has like the mouth open, like when he's all defeated and whatnot.
It feels like, you know what it feels like? They copy and pasted it.
Yeah, literally for both those panels, huh?
I think they did. Feels like that at least.
And then Spidey's like, he's gone. This whole thing. And then you turn the page and it's like, oh, no, he's not.
He's like, hello, I'm in a pond. I'm like, what?
Yes, just comes out of nowhere. Okay, I guess that issue doesn't do anything. So you really could read Spider-Man Unlimited 1 and 2 and skip everything else.
Well, let's see. And then you get to the final showdown, and then Venom's just kicking his ass, and then Venom's like, screw you. And then you got Spawn and Mobius hanging out. And MJ is still worried. She's like she's at the hospital all of a sudden.
Yeah, how'd she know to go to the hospital?
Yeah, and then Carnage is there.
Because, okay, Spidey's ribs are still busted. Look how much he's done. Well, I guess, Venom did crack him again. But, like, that's his whole, like, that's his one weakness is Spidey's ribs. That's like, how do you go 14 issues and that's like your only injury is your ribs?
I will say, the cool thing in this issue, if you go back a couple pages to when they're fighting, how Venom, like, rips his face off.
Ooh. Let me go back to that real fast.
It's right before.
Yeah.
Dude, see, like, imagine that with, like, a little bit more, like, violence to it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you, like, rip some skin off or something.
Dude, and then they go back to Spawn and Morbius. And it's like, they're just lurking. And they're like, well, I guess we might be enemies next time we meet. And he's like, yeah, maybe. Oh, man. It's just, like, he's going back to his prison. Like, literally, this last issue just goes on an entire runaround. Like, literally, they're just chasing each other. Nothing is going on. Spidey sees his dad again, and
MJ says the face of Tiger, he hit the jackpot. Because she's like, I get it. Even though we've talked about this a million times.
And MJ got thick out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere. Look at this shot compared to the ones we saw earlier with her in the tank top. Go view that in issue 2 or 3. Like, oh, man. And, okay, so then this whole thing with Carnage throws me off, too. Because now he's, like,
crazy.
Seeing the light, kind of. And it's making him, like, go back and revisit his origins. And he's seeing his ghosts and everything. But, like, how... I don't know. It's stupid because I feel like, we were already here for one. They've already gone to this place. It was pointless. Mary Jane is again in lingerie. Black Cat is feeling useless. Like, they're literally just chasing Carnage around. They're not... That's the entire series, is them beating him up for
And then what's up with this? Why is Venom, like, oversized all of a sudden?
Yeah, super oversized. Now he looks like enraged Venom, you know what I mean? Like, all maxed out. And then his Spidey, the legs have, like, extra squigglies on it.
Yeah. Did they explain that? I don't remember seeing that.
No, that just comes out. Like, this is just how they drew it for this one. It's wildly inconsistent. And, of course, they toss Spidey and he happens to be at the Osborn's gravesite. Oh, dude, this is going to piss you off. When Black Cat comes into the battle when they're at the cemetery. Look at that entrance. Like, that is over-sexualized.
They made it even more revealing.
More revealing and just, like, bust. Pure bust.
Hey, man, they're trying to make those sales, all right?
And then they, like, make her costume, like, smaller and tighter in every shot after that. Spakoom.
Yeah, What's confusing is like, okay, they just beat his ass, and then like that's it. And then oh, look at that, the Avengers are conveniently back in town.
Yeah, and they have a what is it? A stasis container, and then they just walk away. So that's Maximum Carnage, and it really pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie, it's upsetting. It's frustrating. It goes nowhere. It's a giant goose chase. It literally just it does nothing for any of the characters at all.
Yeah, and I just feel like we just complain this whole episode constantly, every page.
It was like tiring, and I'm so sorry if you're still listening to this, but like it's tiring because you're just like you want it to be good and you know what it could be.
When you suggested it, I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna read it because it was
Exactly.
always like on the the back burner.
I've kind of waited for like the right moment to be like, so I can I get to read like this epic, kind of a legendary series that I thought defined Carnage, and I thought like did a lot for the character.
Psych, you thought.
And that was my mistake.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's disappointing because like I'm pretty sure we were talking about how like nostalgia would make this series like so amazing because if you read it when you were like 5, you would have been like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever."
Yeah, I guess it very much is. Like okay, good perspective. If you're a kid, if you're in elementary school, and this is one of your first Spidey stories, and you want to see Spider-Man and Venom in a non-violent way. Well, I don't know if I want my kid reading like about like Carnage who's like beating like Streak and telling her not to think.
Beating his girlfriend and child practically.
Yeah, like it's counterintuitive at that point. So that's okay, but you can't show a little blood like.
Yeah, I don't know. The comics code censoring in America is weird, and the comics code just ruined comics too.
Yeah, I think that's like what you said at the beginning of last episode.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things going on in this book that were working against it. This is post-image, comics code,
yes.
Dated writing and art in certain ways. So it's like, I don't know. It's just one of those things,
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I read it just so I know now, though. I'll give.
Yeah, I'm glad I read it too, but goddamn, it was such a pain. Everybody's just like, oh, why do they keep complaining? We shouldn't have read it.
I know, but you can't just stop either. You know what I mean? Like, you got to complete the story. You got to finish.
Well, I started it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna see this through.
So what we'll do is we'll try to read. Maybe we will toss an Absolute Carnage and compare the two, and just see how much those 5 issues are compared to these 14 issues.
14. You know what you could have done? I'll lay it out for you right now. I won't even have to overthink it. Issue 1, Carnage breaks out and he goes on a rampage. Issue 2, Spider-Man's like, oh shit, and tries to stop him, gets his ass kicked. Issue 3, he gets like Black Cat and Venom to help him, and then they go and fight him. Issue 4, Carnage puts the city in like a crazy, whatever, making everybody violent. Issue 5, Spawn shows up and says, I got the answer. And then issue 6, they all work together and stop him. Boom, 6 issues.
And if you want to do 7, you just make it like a crazy ass fight with repercussions, and then 7's like the follow up.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. 7. Why was it 14? Why the fuck was that 14 issues?
Money, that's why. And why 14 issues for 5 different series? So that means each series, one of them didn't get a second title or third title.
We blasted through the last 4 so much. For those who are watching, sorry about the little camera hiccups there, but you know what? I haven't done a commentary in a long time, so I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, we came back swinging.
Yeah. Not even my camera wanted to record these 14 issues. They're just like, all right,
yeah,
it's the same picture of Carnage and Venom over and over, and that's the only reason why you like it.
And we're just like, this shit sucks. Episode done.
But thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with something spectacular.
It's gonna be amazing.
Ooh. So watch out for a sensational trip to Orlando coming up. So we'll do a follow-up episode about our little adventures there. Check out the Instagram for some live videos and some cool things while we do that with the boys, or the boy Kamran from Sutro Side Talk.
I know, right? It's gonna be the ultimate experience.
Yes, but until then, we will see you on the road to 100. I need to figure out
Made
a
your own theme song.
All right. Thanks for hanging, man.
Thanks for having me.